Oh, welcome to a special. No, I have said, well, actually for you, I will say, because this is going to go out before some of the things I said on some of the other videos have gone out, such as the odd way I do videos. Right. I said I was going to go through some of my favourite maps. Now, I want to start with this one. This is Aldridge Farm, my absolute favourite map on Farming Sim 15. This is the map I've played more than any other, by a long way. OEB's finest creation, and actually I think their last map they ever produced. This is the actual original map. Everything is as it came from OEB. I almost forgot the name there for a moment. I've got a few things are added in, but the map itself is bog standard, including it's lime. It's got lime in. It's got the Colt can't pronounce it. Colt mod in here. No, we're not going to do any real farming. We're just going to have a look round. Now I messed with this quite a bit, and I will show you some of the other ones in a further videos. I'm not going to do a full series on this. I do one every now and again, but there's full of little details here. The rubble pile here, I love this stuff. This tractor here, which is not there. You can't get in it, can't do anything with it. It's there for repair. Your seeds are in here. I got rid of all the seeds. Anybody who's seen my later ones will know. This is where your wood chips, beet and potatoes are stored. That one's potatoes. Wood chips. So that one has to be beet. Yes. Wash pad. Not something that every map had. Plenty of storage space. This is a big farm area. Your chickens in here. And you had to feed your chickens. You had to feed and water, I think, all the animals, if I remember correctly now. But the water wasn't working too well on chickens, so that wasn't installed on Aldridge. Now, there's one thing which, as you all know, I love having collisions on hedges, but this one hasn't got any collisions. This was made, I think, so it's really course play friendly. You've got loads of places to make silage. The field you start with a very fern. I'm not certain how, see if I can remember how to work this. I still play this now and again. I've actually restarted playing it. You own, as your home fields are down. Where's it? Here, I think. I think you own 7, 8 and 9. That's your home fields in 8 and 9. I think that's it. But there's a lot of grass here, which is how the story started on Aldridge, because I wanted a way not to have all the grass you could get to. There's alfalfa here too. I think this is alfalfa, if I remember. Again, if I remember correctly. You have to forgive me, because it is a little while since I played this. You got a lot of little tracks like this about. Now we're just going to go over everything. I think if we grab a tractor, that's no good. This will do. Check this. Yeah, I want to check there wasn't anything in front of it. I have got the. I haven't turned my sound on. Again, I have put the brake mod in and all the other goodies. Hasn't got gearbox mod in there, but has got the brake mod. For a long time, this was my favourite tractor of the lot. The Steer. I think was it multi? Oh, yeah, the 1415 multi. 4115 multi, get it right. If I ought to really cut a cab so you can see around better. We'll start up the north end of the map and just have a look round. Oh no, I've got to get inside. I cannot drive. I'm afraid I cannot drive out of the cab. There's areas which I very rarely visited on here. A lot I played it for way over 1,000 hours. I think it must have been getting on for 2,000 hours in total, if you included all copies of this and all the different versions of it. I think on mine, I finished it was an orchard on here, and in fact we go across the field. This has also got OEB's terrain mod in, which is a brilliant thing. Should have done better in the mod contest, in my opinion. I forget what won at that. Yeah, I think it's a Baylor, but your farm shop, which takes in a few odds and sods, but it's all so well done. There's a feeling that it's alive. We'll go out to the bits I very rarely went on, which you won't have seen anywhere near as much in my videos. I'm just going to turn the sound down if I can in game. I don't know if I can actually. Thinking about it, I don't think you can turn anything down in game. No. Well, in that case, I'm going to have to try and turn my headphones down. It's a bit better. It's a bit loud in my headphones. Now I'm doing this because, frankly, I've got a logging video to make, which I should have been making today, but I just didn't fancy it. Now up here is an area, a road I've very rarely travelled. There's a tip point up there. Oh, that's the hotel up here. I very rarely travel this because it's a real swine. This is OEB at the best. Try to make that too simple for you. So it was a case of coming around and having a back in. Now you couldn't have a too long a trailer. As you can see, it's not a lot of space. If we follow this round, I think it'll take us down past the sheep farm eventually. But you just look at the scenery. This is a typical British map. It's very tight. There's no borders to the fields. Although it's not quite so important as you have no collisions on the hedges, so it's not quite as bad. You've got little details like this, which frankly I missed some of these for a long time. Like here, caravan park with a fire. Silly little things like that. Deck chair left out. I know they spent hours making this map. Not just hours making it, but hours testing it. I know how I got to know about this map was Disco. I used to watch Disco quite a bit, and he was part of OEB, and he was doing a lot of the testing, and he was doing it online, making videos. While he's telling the story on here, he was also testing the map at the same time. You've got areas up there that so many things you could make a story on. This was, for me, still the perfect map. And I messed about with this quite a bit. What we've got here? The signs, I love this toad crossing sign. Yes, and it's toad crossing, not frog crossing. We don't... that's the sheep one, that's the next one up. Went the wrong way. That is toads. And here you can get rid of hay, grass, and straw. Static display, because this was before you got the mobile ones. But remember, this came out reasonably early on. This came out before Soil Mod. But it has got one thing, and it was the first to use it, I understand. And we will go and have a look at that now. We're at the sheep farm. Now everything's separate. Now that actually makes... oh yes, one thing I want to say. Now if I remember what Disco was saying, this is one of the things he specialised in. He was a modder. He made now all these signs. He was proud of that. But he's a modder, not a scripter or a map maker at the time. He turned into quite a good map maker when he, towards the end of 15, he started doing his own maps and playing around with it. Right, in here you've got your lamb. Now this was the first map, I am reliably informed, which had the lamb rearing system on it. Everybody used it afterwards, but this was the first one. You already had the pig one, I believe, but that was the first one for the lamb. There's a way out the back here. I think we take that way. But the beauty of this is you could make yourself with several different farms on here. Good for multiplayer. And each farm had your bins. I think up here, if I remember correctly, this will take us through down between, looks like between 21 and 23. There's more cottages up here, and we have to go and do the I'm not going to go any further to the north. We will turn down now because it's but here we have typical dirt road, typical country track, farm track. But you have people living up here because people used to live close to the farm. You know, farm workers. And the scenery. Now, remember, this is now old. The engine on here is old. But the map still stands up, and of course, Darren made one which couldn't be released. We couldn't get permission to release it, but he actually made a version of this. And there we are, look, we're on 19, one of the big fields. It had a selection of big and small fields. Another thing I liked, you could play as you wanted, and most of the big fields were quite easy to split. I spent a lot of time splitting fields, and because there's one you always made as one. Now we go down this way now. Several things here I haven't seen for ages because I removed them off mine. It took me a long time to get around to find the copy of it. Now, I'm not going to put where I found this because it's one of those sites I hate dealing with, but I didn't have any choice. The only place I could find Aldridge, which means that actually it was pinched, because OEB only ever released this on FSUK. And as soon as they left FSUK, set up their own one and become SOB, all that stuff was taken down off there, and this never got put back on their own site, which I think was a shame. Now we have the lumber yard, which I've made into the Crawford Brown's house after doing a little bit of work, removing a few bits, taking some of the sound effects out. I thought this was a nice big place that they probably would feel they should have. I definitely took the saw sound effects out eventually. But this is the lumber yard, your sell point for your wood, or one of your sell points. Well, your sell point for logs. I can't remember if that took sawdust. This is a trip down memory lane for me. Now, there's a lot of these humpback bridges. They love these humpback bridges. There's 3 of them in total, if I remember correctly. We've just been visited by the gallopers. I'm trying to remember where are though. This is the place to get rid of sawdust. This is the biomass heating plant. This I took out for my version because I didn't want much to do with lumber at all. And this is a pig rearing facility over this side. There's no traffic on this map. There never was. It's never built to have traffic on. It was just straightforward. But it actually made it easier if you wanted to put your own vehicles on and use Courseplay to drive them around for you. Which I did with disastrous effects when I apparently hit my wife's new to her car with the JCB. This is the pig rearing facility. You can't sort of transfer them over into the main thing, but this is where you rear your pigs. There's no way to transfer from one bit to another. Well, there isn't actually anywhere for full-grown pigs on here. You rear them here, you pick them up, and you take them to the slaughterhouse. Over the road. Trying to remember the best way to do this. I will miss quite a bit out, but I'm trying to get the main bits in. Over the road is the milk farm, the dairy. Also have a very similar thing. You don't actually have your animals out in the open on this, in fields. Oh, one of my favourite things. And you think this is just static and it just stays like this all the time. This is a slurry pit. You wait long enough and you have enough cattle, these will start to fill up with slurry. Doesn't happen instantly. And this map also had built in, almost forgot, the mix feeder. What could be better? Your own mix feeder. Storage bins there for other bits. Water and I forget what that one is, grain by the looks of it. You have to excuse me if I've forgotten some of the bits and pieces in here. And this is the rearing shed. Oh no, this isn't the dairy, this is the calf rearing shed, let's get it right. So you actually rear calves here, but you can't transfer them over to the main dairy, which we will come to eventually. I hope. More storage space, and I made use of nearly all this during the course of my time playing this map. Diesel up here, which I got rid of. Oh, this is one of those little things that we've got to make it slightly more interesting. This has fell over, this has fallen down. It's broken away. So you can't actually get through this bit here. You can't even do this, you can just walk through everything, but so it broke off here. This is where it should be. And I was taking some trees down with it. I've got so I can get out of here again. I got rid of that in time. Because I did a lot of alterations to this map. I messed up that map no end, and I have to say that my version doesn't play anywhere near as smooth as the original. This is one of many bits of grass you could use, which frankly was too much grass on it you could use. Now down here we have, this is the train depot. That's one of the ones, remember on 15, I've got Courseplay on it, it's just, oh well, that's so I can't just bring it up. This has got one of the ones with the little handle on. Pull that, and the train will go. In fact, we should see it, there it goes. And you get more money when, provided you got stuff in there, when it gets to the other end. This is where you offload. This was good story material as well. Especially I used to pretend that people were coming in here. I think we've done everything that way. I might have missed something out, but I don't think I missed anything important out. Now down here is a very small old established firm, bit dilapidated now, but I made this into the place that Chris was in charge of. I forget the actual name of the company I called now, but I put him in charge here at the end. That's another sell point, and you go through there if you want. Now you have to be careful. They don't run all the time, the trains, but if you let one go, sometimes they will come past. I don't think they come past here, but they come past the other end. Now we're on our way now to the cattle yard. Now this really one of the things like dynamic sky. Let's go this. Well, let's say we go down here. Got a little bit of a jerk there, a little bit of stutter. This is where your actual dairy cattle are. There's an entrance through, but if we'd gone on we'd have got to it. But there's another entrance round the corner here, which is near the main entrance. So now this map I spent so many hours on, so you get more storage space. One of the things a lot of people done on this, and don't think I put an open gate on it, but took the gate out but put a cattle ramp in there so I could actually drive over into the field. You'll see some of the work I've done on later, but so this doesn't have soil mod on. And there's the other way in. Now see if I can find my way up to the top. Go this way, that's the car up ahead there. Also I realised too that 15 is nowhere near as twitchy as 17 and 19 are for driving. We'll have a proper look at that in a moment. That's a big area. That's the major buyer of stuff, but it's an old yard around here. No. I'm going to leave the tractor here because I think this is the way I need to be going next. And we'll have a look. I'll put the brake on for once. The original brake didn't have that sound effect. I added that. Thanks to Disco Shuho. Disco's great at that. This is OEB. It became in Darren's one, which very few people got to see. It became Meerman's, if I remember right. Oh, quite proud about that. And we have a quick look to cart before we take that next bit. There's several different styles of houses there too, which looks good. These looks like council houses, just a terrace of council houses. This is the main sell point for just about everything. I don't think there's much you can't sell here. Can't remember. There's no dairy if I remember right. Again, I could be wrong. And I'm not even certain what the hell you sell at some of these. I think, around here, because I messed us about quite a bit by adding things to it. I think there's another side as we can't get to here. I think, this side's the milk side. That's it, this side's the milk side. And I actually put a shed in here and some tip points, different things. And around the corner, bus stops, which I was always running into, especially ones near Field 12, are well renowned for. But no, down there, this is the other side of that. Still the same company, So there's a massive company. Around here. Yeah, here we are. There's your grain sales, but here is your wool sales. It's all come back to me now. See, so many things I've altered, I've messed up. Now, I think we'll find a way back to the tractor. Here we are. Let's see if we got the right way here. Don't think we have. I think we're on the wrong bit. I think there's another pathway, I believe. This is just a farm, a forest track. Yeah, this is the one. Must be one further up. Yeah, let's just take you around to the road again. But this is if you want to do forestries. I think I lopped the food trees down and I took branches off some, especially if I'm getting big equipment around. But that's about my limit on forestry on here. Ah, this is the one. A roughly tarmac, or a hard top road which has seen better days. This is really C-class, if that. Slightly better than a dirt road, but not a lot. But this is a lovely drive. I spent hours trying to get course up here. I managed it in the end, but it took hours to do it. Now, where are we going, you say? Well, if you haven't followed the old Ridge series, the early parts of the old Ridge, because in later episodes I didn't use this. Ah, we're coming now to one of the highlights, I believe. This. They even got the water coming up, and it looks like it's coming over the bridge. That is a wonderful sight. In fact, excuse me, I'm just going to, I don't know if I've got anything on here. Oh, yes I have. Which will take off everything. I think it's still that. There we are. How are we doing on time? We're just about run out of time, so that's a pity. I'll get back inside and we'll have a look up where we want to go up here. Now up here, it's more grass fields, and if you go further on, there's more trees to cut down, but it's two big grass meadows up here. Now, just imagine getting Courseplay to come up here. So I managed it, but I was getting old by the time I'd done it. There we are. Now this is the famous meadow where BP made their own bales. He used to make a lot of their own bales, and they rolled down into the river. I don't think he ever got them all back. If he's still got a copy of that map, I reckon if you look in there, you still find bales in the river. I'm going to come across there, mainly because I want to get to the next bits. Now we're back with the farm shop, and we haven't looked at the Chad's place yet. And we must have a look at Chad's. I think that's the last major place to look at. Chad, who was a great supporter of BP, and he also followed me and became a great supporter of mine, I'm happy to say. Was named as the owner of the garage. We didn't actually have a look at the yeah, we'd go this way because we haven't had a look at the biogas plant yet. There we are. Now this has gotten in, and that's actually out, that one. This one is in. You can tell because where the barrier is. And there's scales on those. There is another entrance without a scale. It's one I used to use, but this is quite a big BGA. And if I remember right, those tiles used to disappear and go on top of the covers. More storage space if you want it. It was so well made, this map. And it's one of the few maps where there was never an update for it. There was never a patch for it. There was talk they were going to do a soil mod version, but they never got round to it. There we are, here's Chad's. A lot of the builds are fairly standard farming sim buildings of the time. But it's just the thought that got into it, and the little byways. I haven't shown you half the little byways around here, and there's that waterfall. See more houses up here. In fact, we come round now. I think we go round to the back to the farm, the main farm. Because in my head, yeah, we'll go this way. In my head, the farm, Aldridge, what I was farming, had been in the family for donkey's years, and it's been upgraded, parts bought in over the years. That's how we got the cattle farm, because I think the cattle farm too, there's no more storage up there. We haven't looked at that properly. Didn't look at the storage. There's storage buildings all over the place and little storage areas. A bit like how Old Boar does it too, with separate areas to store things. And that's one of the ones we will be looking at as well. Blickling 15 and Blickling 17 standard. I managed to get hold of all of them. And I'm going to look at this one again, but with soil mod in, and a few first few alterations they've done to it. I think that's about it. We've been all the way around. We haven't touched everything. I've got a couple more. Oh, there's one we haven't looked at, the abattoir. I almost forgot that. Anyway, here's the abattoir. Or I prefer the slaughterhouse, I find that easy to say. Slaughterhouse this side. Bring the animals there, unload them. And over here is the garden centre. Which you buy, I think you buy a foodstuffs. I think you can get fertiliser, seed. I think you can get trees. I'm not certain. Right, let's see if we can find out what we can buy here. Oh, pallet saplings. There we are. Couldn't remember if pallet saplings were a thing in 15, but they were. Obviously, as you can get them here. Oh, we'll just go down, I think, one last sell point we're missed completely. That's the church. I spent hours too on one of the specials, getting the car there to drive into the church and park properly, and when I came to do it, it didn't work. I put one car in the wrong order. That messed the whole thing up. Never mind. There's where you can sell your eggs at the post office. And up ahead we should have a brew pub. We know it's a brew pub because they take in grain. And they also take in potatoes, because the story that the BP himself came up with is that the landlord was also a potato merchant on the side. Well, I think with that, we've just about done everything now. Well, there's the cottages which belong to my farm, which was, some were sold off, but Kylie lived in one. Charles used to live down near the cattle farm, I believe that was. Until he married her ladyship. He didn't want to work for me anymore after that. Oh, I said that's the bus shelter always got smashed, always got run into. Guaranteed, every time I'd done field 10 I'd run into that. And I think there's one near 12 too, it used to take quite a hammering. Right, with that I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, you could consider giving a like. Not that important to me anymore. Don't bother to subscribe unless you want to know when I'm going to make any videos in the dim and distant future. Any comments, questions, queries, suggestions, feel free to post them. And I will be doing more. Please type a little tour around old maps that I've enjoyed playing, and that's why I'm doing this, because this to me, stop the engine, this to me is still the ultimate farming sim map. It has a certain something, I can't put my finger on what it is, but it has a certain something. Oh, we better just have a look at the biggest fields you start with. These two down here, the home fields, which everybody, including and myself included, always combined these two, combined them into one. Quite a bit of work because you had to go to GE to do it. You had to grub the hedges out. This path had to go because you can't plough it. Well, you can't plough it very well anyway, and you want to level it off a little bit. But you see this wheat there. The wheat doesn't look very good. I forgot just how bad the wheat looked. But the barley looks quite good. But I say I'm not very happy with the way the wheat looked. In fact, I haven't put any whiskers on the wheat. You got your ears there with whiskers on. Well, you haven't got that much whisker, I suppose, on wheat, but you got no whisker at all on barley either, which is not good. But then again, it was a lot of years ago. Anyway, with that, it's me saying cheerio for now. Cheerio.